Hey everybody, welcome to the Warbossfitz channel. Today is the second episode of the Palal campaign for the channel. This is the first episode where we are going to be using the Grim Dark Future war fleets. This one turned out to be pretty long, so I'm just going to shut up and jump right into the story.
As the overzealous lone orc ship streaked in from the black, auger arrays in the sunken pyramid ship picked up the incoming hostile. This caused a flurry of activity on the subterranean starship. From the tip of the pyramid, activation signals were sent out across the planet, calling out to long-forgotten escort craft to come to their master's aid. Ancient pumps slowly started coming to life as the systems demanded the craft to awaken, pressurizing long-dormant fuel lines. With a spark, previously seized turbines start to spin and charge huge capacitors. Interior lights flicker to life, turning on in sequence and chasing the darkness out of its corridors. The ship was slowly waking up, bringing itself back from its entombed purgatory under the swamps of Palal. On the surface, the swamp water rippled as the vibrations from the depths made their way through the mud. A group of Saurians were in the area hunting mudfish, their small canoe amplifying the frequency of the vibrations to an audible rumble. This had been prophesied by the shaman, that one day the planet will sing out in exultation of the return of the mage. They immediately flung themselves to their knees and started praying like the shaman had taught them to. The ship, now pulsing with electrical power, redirected it to the massive engines at the base. In a chamber at the central hub of the engineering section, a mechanical arm emerged from a sliding panel and retrieved a sphere of antimatter. With automated precision, the arm moved to the center of the void that was the combustion chamber. There it released its grip. The sphere hung in space at the nucleus of the void, its blackness absorbing any hint of light entering through the viewports. The arm retreated back into its hiding place, and a metal blast shield dropped over the opening. The hum of the ship subsided as capacitors reached their maximum charge. As a pregnant moment passed, with the sphere suspended in darkness, it was as if the entire ship held its breath. Then on the surface, the world exploded. Powerful engines, long sunk into the black mud and waters of the swamps of Palal, raged to life. A single spark in the combustion chamber of the pyramid contacted with the sphere of antimatter, sending a wave of reality-shattering engine to the banks of engines. Those, in turn, simultaneously erupted with prophetic force, flash-boiling any organic material packed around the outputs. The swamp heaved as the superheated vapors exploded to the surface. The small band of Saurian hunters was vaporized before their brains had the opportunity to perceive what was happening. A shockwave expanded out from the epicenter, tearing trees from the ground and sending waves of boiling swamp water in every direction. At the center of it all, the tip of the cryo pyramid broke the surface, its sensor towers covered in thick black sludge, rising slowly from the depths as the engines continued to pulverize everything below it. More and more of the vessel broke the surface. Inside the ship, warning klaxons began to wail. Something was going wrong. The added weight of the swamp on top of the cryo pyramid was something the AI on board couldn't compensate for, and as the systems redlined, not wanting to cause a catastrophic failure across the entire engine array, the ship systematically shut them down. The cryo pyramid was free of the gravity of Palal for less than 10 seconds, its bulk smashing back into the hole that it had just blasted into the surface of the planet. The deafening sound of the engines now replaced by the rush of millions of gallons of swamp water, filling the void left by the cataclysm. After the earth-shattering events of the last few minutes, what was left of the site was a spire of the pyramid jutting out of the lake of black water, surrounded by miles of burnt and twisted foliage and silence. Across the planet, this scene played out over and over again, as every member of the ancient Saurian fleet attempted to break free of their watery prisons. Most of the ships were unable to make it to the surface, their attempts blowing massive chunks out of the swamps and marshes, but there was a scant few that were able to break free from their bonds. These ships took to the air covered in the black muck that is the lifeblood of Palal. Higher and higher, they began to climb into space. As they were seen by the Saurians, they knew that the day of ending had arrived. Ships that had broken the surface were found and broken into. Geckos bouncing along the barely lit corridors, finding caches of weapons and armor. The natives were arming themselves with the ancient weapons of war. While the lizards on the ground looted the husks of the fleet, the ships that made it to space made their way to the pyramid site. Once reached, they entered synchronous orbit over the mothership to protect it from any threat that their sensors could detect. The AI crew extended their sensors to sweep the surrounding void for any dangers. They found nothing, as the threat that was first detected had long since made its headlong charge to the surface. The AI ships spaced themselves in a shielding pattern above the pyramid wreckage and settled in to stand sentinel against any threat to their mothership. Jawhacka raged at the crew on the bridge as other ships in the Orc armada began to push out in front of the fleet.
We's gotta miss the fighting. You gets make them engines go faster.
Kicking a goblin seemed like the right thing to do. As he kicked, its body exploded into little meaty chunks that splattered across the main view screen. Big Mech Zogrin sighed as he moved over to the command chair. Pulling a paint marker from his breastplate, he knelt down to the speed indicator. He crossed out the number 10 at the top of the dial and scribbled 11 next to it.
Look, boss, we's going 11 now.
As Jawhacka lumbered back over to the command chair, he looked at what the mech had done. His face split in a big toothy grin as the pitch of the engines changed.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
The flagship of the Orc fleet bucked as its speed increased and it started to pull away from the rest of the fleet. On the other ships across the armada, there were mechs that had been trained in the art of fixin' stuff by Zogrin. The big mech smiled as he saw a few ships pick up the same burst of speed as the flagship did.
I taught them boys gooder than the rest of them,
he thought, as they became the lead element of the fleet on the way to their due conquest. Back on Palal, the AI ships floated silently above the green sea of Palal, not moving from their post and awaiting any further instructions. That's when the powerful sensor towers of the pyramid, still poking out of the mud of the planet, detected them. Ships at the extreme end of its sensor range. Unable to catalog what race they belonged to and the vulnerable state of the pyramid, the AI flagged them as hostile. Signals bounced back and forth from the pyramid to its guardian fleet to engage the ships and eliminate them. Now it is time to play the game. We got both of our fleets out here. We're going to start off with the Saurian Star Host fleet. This is our defender fleet for the campaign. We have one Mosasaur ship right here, 2 Megalodon ships, and 2 Ichthyosaur ships. Then we have, for the Orc Marauders, we have a Hulk ship, 2 Crusher ships, and 2 Chopper ships. We're going to have the lists down in the description so you can see the different things the ships are armed with. We're going to get right into fighting this battle. So on the board, we have the Saurian Star Host, the Defender fleet around the planet. We got a couple of different asteroids slinging around the system here. And then on the other side of the board, we have our Orc fleet. So for this mission in particular, the Orc fleet is attempting to get within low orbit of the planet. The Saurians want to stop them from getting there. We're going to see what happens. Uncle C is in the garage today. He's going to be playing as the Saurian Star Host, defending the planet. We're going to see who goes first. The Orcs get a 1! And the Saurians get a 3. Looks like Saurians start off turn number 1. Mosasaur, 6 inches, so it's just going to go out there to engage. Jawhacka standing on the bridge of the Hulk ship. They're going to engage their pulse engines, and then they are going to go 9 inches straight ahead. Bah! Like that. Megalodon ship staying in formation. Next, we're going to activate a Crusher ship. Again, going at its maximum speed of 9. Keep that Orc charge going. Can't talk. Next, Megalodon. Right up next to the Mosasaur. Crusher ship again. Roar. Next, we have an Ichthyosaur ship moving up 8 inches, and that puts them in range to fire at the Hulk ship with the Obsidian Flechettes. So 2 shots with the Obsidian Flechettes, evasion 2, that is 2 hits. At this range, it is strength of 0, so toughness of 3 on the Hulk, and it's going to take 1 point damage. Next up, we got a chopper ship. He's going to be going 12, trying to get ahead of everybody else. Second Ichthyosaur ship, same deal, firing at the Hulk. 2 shots on a 3, or 2 shots on a 2. And that is 2 hits, saving on a 3. Takes 1 more, so that is going to be the motion tracker gone. Then last activation on turn 1, second chopper ship is just going to go forward and join that formation. Start at turn 2, Mosasaur going to go forward 2, do a 45, and then continue on 2. And then he is going to open up onto the fleet over here with a couple different weapons and different targets.
1 shot at him.
Okay.
And then 1 shot at little guy.
Okay, so the first shot at the big guy. It's off screen. That was a 1. And then a 4. So that's 1 hit there. It is strength of 3, toughness of 3. So that means the big guy needs a 6. It fails, so he takes 1 point of damage. The other shot at this little guy here, 2 shots. Evasion 5, so 1 hit. Toughness of 4, looking just for a straight 6. It goes through. We're going to put that on the boarding spike. Onto the Orc's turn. The Hulk ship is going to move forward, and with its pulse engines, it gets a move of 6. Then out of its front is going to fire a Scream missile at the Mosasaur. So firing that Scream missile, we're going to be hitting on a 2 because the Mosasaur has an evasion of 2. So that's a hit, and what that does is because it has a blast, it also hits all models within 4 inches. It'll hit those 2 as well. So just 1 hit, and it is strength of 2. So that's going to be 1 on the Mosasaur. Train noises, the Orcs are coming. Why is there always a train when I'm recording? It's like they wait until I pull the camera out. So next will be Ichthyosaur ship, saving on a 6. That's a fail. And then the Megalodon saving on a 5. That's a fail. So 3 points of damage, 1 to each of them. Megalodon is going to go forward 3, turn 45, go 3, and then it is going to fire. What you going to fire?
I'm going to shoot the turret. Should be in range along with quad beam.
Okay, you're shooting at the Hulk ship?
Oh yeah.
All right, everything at the Hulk ship. So we're going to start off with the turret, hitting on a 2. That's going to be 2 hits, strength of 2, so saving on a 5. It's going to fail them both. We're going to finish off the barracks launcher and move into the teleporter pod. Next is the quad beam. 1 shot. That's a hit. What's the strength on it?
1.
Strength of 1, saving on a 4. If it saves. Next, for the Orc ships, we're going to go ahead and use our first Crusher ship over here. It has overcharged thrusters, so it takes D3 damage. It's going to take 1 damage. It's going to take it right to the thrusters, and that gives it plus 9 inches of speed when it uses cruise or ram. So that means we're going to be going 18 inches. Boom! To put it right there, pretty much in the grill of the Saurian fleet. Next Mosasaur, moving forward, doing a turn, and then what you going to shoot at? You gonna shoot that little Crusher? Oh, what did he do to you? Okay.
He bit my nose.
He's touching your spots.
I'm a bit persnickety about my square.
He's in quad beam range as well. So let me move the camera just a little bit. So because the way the quad beam works, you can fire 4 different targets. So it's going to fire there. And then turrets, you can put it either one. You want to put turret here?
Yeah.
Okay, turret and 1 quad beam, 1 quad beam. Go ahead and fire your turret, sir. You're looking for a 4 to hit. That's 1 hit, strength of 2, saving on a 5, it saves. And then quad beam. That's going to be a hit, strength 2, saving on a 5, so that takes 1 point of damage. That means its overcharged thrusters go kaboom. Next, we got the 1 shot for the Hulk ship. That's going to be a hit because you hit on a 2, and it fails. So the Hulk ship, that's going to be the teleporter pods gone. We're We're going to do the same thing with the other crusher ship. D3 damage for 1 point. Again, right to the overcharged thrusters. And then 18 inches to right there. Got the Ichthy ship. Move forward. Move 4 to 5. Firing the crusher ship over there, I assume.
Yeah. I'm going to use my turret and my quad beam, so technically I'm going to shoot at both of them.
There you go. All right. It's going to be... Yep, so it's going to be a 4 to hit them. Go ahead and fire your turret for 3. That's a miss. Quad beam. Off screen. That's a 4. That's a hit. But it is a save. And then second crusher ship. That's a hit. And a save. Ooh, got lucky. Moving down to the little chopper ships. They're just going to go 12 inches straight ahead. Second Ichthyosaur ship. Moving around to there. And we're going to do the same thing with the crushers again. So, turret shot. That's a hit. Which one?
We'll just do the first one.
The first one. That is 1 point of damage. So there goes the overcharged thrusters on that one. So then we're going to do quad shot there. That's a miss. Quad shot at the other one. That's a miss. And then since we're here, we're just going to have the other one go 12 inches forward. There. Mosasaur is going to use a hold action to turn himself a little bit further. No movement, and now it is going to shoot. What's shooting at?
Turret here, side shot here.
Well, the turret, remember, it's got twin fire from this guy, so you can do both of them.
So then both of them.
Okay, and then 2 shots each with the turret. That's 1 hit. Saving on a 6. Nope. And that one will be going into the red blaster. Side shot. 1 shot, and it misses. Twin fire, though, so it's going to do the same thing to this guy. Side shock misses, and then turrets. Miss, and then second shot with a turret. Miss. Uh-oh. Time for the Hulk ship to move forward, and again, with his pulse engines, he's going to be going an extra 2, so that means it is going to go 6 to there. And then since the Mosasaur is presenting such a lovely target, we're going to put the scream missiles and the turret into that. So we got 2 shots with the turret. He is within 12, so the Orc crew does not come into effect. So it's going to be just 2 shots on a 2. And he rolls Snake Eyes. Good job, Jawhacker. Awesome. Scream missile, same thing. That's going to be a hit. And that will be 1 point of damage there, and we hit everybody within 4 of that ship. So we're going to hit this little Ichthyosaur, and we're also going to be hitting this Mosasaur. So go ahead and roll for the Ichthyosaur. That's a fail. Second wound on that Ichthyosaur, and second wound on that Mosasaur. Taking off all 3 of those ships' obsidian launchers. We had a Megalodon ship move from there to there, and now it is going to fire. What you firing at?
I'm going to use the turret and then quad beam, and I'm going to fire at...
Everybody.
Yeah.
Pretty much everyone's going to get hit with the quad beam except for this guy over here.
But the turrets will predominantly go here.
1 shot with the quad beam. That's going to be a miss. Another shot with the quad beam. That's a hit. And then it is going to save. Another quad beam shot. Hits. Fails. So that will be the pulse engine. Uh-oh, we're in trouble. Last quad beam shot with a 4. That's going to be a miss. You need a 5 to hit those. So then the turret on this guy. 2 hits. Saves on a 5. Saves 1. So that will be one of his red blasters gets a point of damage. And we're back after I looked up the boarding rules. But yes, in this campaign, we're going to be using the boarding rules. So we are going to activate this crusher ship over here. It's going to do a move that will put it to right there, and then it chooses an enemy target within 3, which is going to be this Mosasaur ship over here. So the Mosasaur ends up getting 4 boarding tokens, and we will see how that plays out when it comes to the activation of that ship. Megalodon ship, I can't talk, whatever. They're all sea creatures. All right, so that's it for that activation. It's up to you. What are you going to activate next? Megalodon over here is going to do a hold action to spin 180. Who are you shooting at? Shooting the crusher up close. Go ahead and roll some dice.
2 shots with the turret.
Okay, it'll be 2 hits. Turret is strength of 2 with nuclear ammo. 2 fails. Okay, so Red Blaster is going to get hit, and it's going to go into the Ripper Array. Time for the quad beams. That's a hit. Strength of 3. All right, so saving on a 6. Nope, that goes through. So what ends up happening is that this ship goes kaboom! We have the first kill. Next activation, we have the second crusher ship, the only one remaining. It is going to move forward 6 inches, puts it right to there, and then it is going to fire. It's going to fire its turret at the mosasaur, and then it's going to fire off its ripper array at both of the ships. Turret firing the mosasaur hits on a 2, 1 hit. Strength of 1, just so it's going to save. Time for the ripper array. 3 shots at the mosasaur. It's going to be 1 hit. That's going to be 1 damage to the mosasaur, going into its grand spine, and then it's going to be 3 shots into the ichthyosaur, hitting on a 4. It's going to be 1 hit there, saving on a 5. It saves. Next mosasaur, before it activates, it is time to work those boarding tokens. So here's 4 dice. Go ahead and roll 4 dice. 1 of those boarding tokens is going to go away. That means it's down to 3. The other 3, you take 1 point of damage. So 3 points. Going into the flechettes and the nuclear ammo. So now you get to do the rest of your activation. That's it. It's going to hold, do a 180 turn, and then we're going to get quad beams at everybody.
Turret's going to go into the Hulk.
Okay, turret into the Hulk, 2 shots. That's going to be 2 hits. Strength of 2, so saving on a 5. It's 1 more point of damage. Hitting the pulse engine, which means the pulse engine is out of action. Now time for the quad beams to fire around everywhere. That's a hit. That's a fail. There's a hit. There's a fail. There's a hit. And a fail. Good job, guys. So the Hulk is down to its last point of damage remaining. This guy over here lost his this guy lost his boarding spike, and then this one's starting to take damage on the boarding spike. Time for the chopper ships. This chopper ship over here, it is going to use a cruise action and slam into the Megalodon. Boom! Now we compare systems for the ramming. He's only got 1 system left. The Mosasaur has 3 left. Reinforced ram gives me +1 damage. So the Mosasaur is going to take 2 damage from the ram, and the chopper ship, it's going to take 2 damage because it's the smaller ship. So what that is going to do is blow off his reinforced ram and actually take the last point of damage for him. So he just runs in and blows up on that ship. The Mosasaur grand spine falls off, and it's taking damage into the nuclear ammo. So now it is time for some ichthyosaur ships to move.
I'm going to use hold and just fire into your crusher.
Okay, it'd be 1 hit. Strength of 0, so it saves on 3. It saves. Then we have our second chopper ship over here. It is going to do the same deal, except into this guy here. So we are going to go 12 inches, slam into that, compare the systems. That one only has 1 remaining. This guy has 2 remaining, +1 damage over here. So the Megalodon ship is going to take 3 points of damage, and he's going to take 1. Blowing off what is left of the boarding spike and taking the Megalodon ship out of the game, along with all the orcs that are rampaging through it. Bang! Okay, the ichthyosaur here is going to hold and fire. You fire into this guy, I assume?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't care if it seems boring.
Alright, 2 shots. That's going to be 2 misses. Starting back over at the beginning, this is going to be turn number 4. Let's see what happens here. We're going to start off with the Mosasaur ship. What you doing? Mosasaur ship's going to move to there. What you doing? Firing off the turret into the crusher ship here. 2 hits. Saving on not that. So that's going to take off the red blaster and start into the ripper array, and then the Psy Shock into him. That's going to be a hit. Okay, it's a blast, so it hits everybody over here. Save of a 4 for the crusher ship. It's going to save. Ichthyosaur. That's a fail. And then the Mosasaur. That's a fail. So that takes off the nuclear ammo out of the Mosasaur, and the Ichthyosaur ship starts on the nuclear ammo there. The Hulk ship, the only thing it's got left is its turrets and the Scream missile. So it is going to move forward 2, and then do a little turn, forward 2. And then it's going to fire Scream missile into this guy, and then it's going to fire the turret over into the Mosasaur. So the Scream missile here, we are going to be hitting on 4. It hits. And that's going to be a fail there, but that's also blast. So that's going to be a hit into the Megalodon, and also into my little crusher ship. So the crusher ship Now, that means the chopper ship, that's going to be that's going to be a pass for the crusher ship. And then a wound goes into the Megalodon. Megalodon to there.
He's got a turret with nuclear ammo and then quad beam. So the turret's going to go into Dingus here and then quad beam.
Okay, turret into the Hulk ship that's on its last wound. That's going to be 2 hits, evasion of a 2. So that's going to be 1 that goes through, which means that would normally be the end of the Hulk. But because he has the Scrap King title, because Jawhacker is a Scrap King himself, that means that it comes back with 2 points because I restored a disabled upgrade. And what he is going to restore is the barracks launcher. His little orcs are able to put that back together. So then we got quad beams again at the Hulk. That's a hit. That's a fail. So that barracks launcher takes 1 point. It's got 1 point left. At the little ship, that is a miss. Our crusher ship over here, it is just going to stop and use a hold action. And while it is there, it is going to blast off with its Ripper Array and its turret into that Ichthyosaur there. So its Ripper Array is going to be 3 shots, 1 hit, strength 1. That's going to be a fail. So that will be the end of that Ichthyosaur ship with the last wound. It needed to go to the last system down. And then its turret fires into the wreckage. So that'll be the end of that. Now we move over to the Ichthyosaur ship. Turrets from there to there. And it's going to be 2 misses. And then last up is the last chopper ship. All it's got left is its reinforced ram. It's just going to move 8 inches forward. It's going to be firing its turret into the back of that Megalodon. 2 shots at strength 0, plus 1 to hit because I'm firing into its rear. That's going to be 2 hits. And 1 damage to the Megalodon, blowing off its nuclear ammo. And so what that is going to do is take us to the end of the campaign game. We're going to do a little story time to show you what happens next. On Jawhacker's Hulk ship, things definitely were not going to plan. Fires had broken out, half the crew was dead, parts of his ship were scattered across space. Not wanting to lose his prize, he decided to pull what remained of his vanguard forces back. Disengaging from the Saurian starships, the Orc ships skulked to the edge of the system, awaiting for the rest of the armada to show up. Falling back seemed very un-orky for a war boss. But he knows Orcs is never beaten. They're just falling back to attack all over again.
So that didn't go too well for the Orcs now, did it? Now, if you want to contribute to the campaign, all you have to do is send in some battle reports to either the email address, warbossfitz@gmail.com, or pop onto our Discord server and share a battle report with everybody there. Just like for the Grimdark Future, there are 2 more weeks until the next Grimdark Future section of the campaign. The Warfleet section will not be for another 4 weeks. So you got some time to find a game and let us know how it worked out. So until next time, I hope everybody out there is having a whole bunch of fun playing OPR, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.